Okay, so now it's time to talk big blades. The CRKT Triumph, the folder edition, designed by Pat Crawford, with a no, well, I guess I'll mention it. Features the outburst from CRKT. Feature just means after 30 degrees it automatically opens itself. It's also got the auto locks feature, which locks into place, turns it into a fixed blade as far as now you can tell, and I gotta say they did a good job. There is no play, absolutely no play at all in this blade. Um, but let's talk about it. It's a big knife, and it's a heavy knife, and it's got some very decent tactical principles behind the design of it, and I would say that it's definitely a tactical knife. 3.5-inch blade, so it's kinda short, but also it's a big blade just if you were looking at big blades. I'm not sure what the cutting surface is exactly, but probably about 3 inches. The knife's 5 inches closed and 8.5 inches open, like it is now. And the blade is Tanto design with VEF serrations, so I guess it's a third CRKT feature that it's got. And what they are is just a 60-degree angled serration. Kind of looks like shark's teeth, and I think it was designed after that too. But basically it's just meant for ripping and tearing, as far as I know. I haven't really gotten a chance to try them out very much, but as far as I'm concerned, they probably do their job pretty well, but I'm not a big fan of it. I like plain edges. And I'm also not a big fan of Tanto blades, but if you are a fan of them, I highly recommend this knife. It's made of Aus 8 steel, which isn't the greatest or whatever, but it's coated in, oh, I forget it for the life of me, but it's coated in something that'll help the rust resistance. Maybe along the edge, yeah, I might have problems with rust, but as far as I'm concerned, I've never had problems with rust with most of my knives because I'm in a relatively dry climate. But regardless, definitely full Tanto design. Comes in a plain edge, which I would have liked to get, but I didn't think I'd be using this knife very much, so I got the cooler looking VEF serrations and went with that. Let's see. Enough about the blade. Let's talk about the handle. What we got here is some really deeply grooved, what are they called, G10 scales, and I've got to say they're the best G10 scales I've ever held, I guess. They're the best I've ever grasped on a knife. They're deep, they're tough, they don't rub your skin, but they grip it. They glue your hand to this knife, along with the contours of the handle shape. Each finger fits in perfectly, and if you need to choke up, you can do that too without having to sacrifice your finger to the blade, because it doesn't start till up here. The jimping starts on the liner locks in this. I'll talk about them in a sec. And it continues on for most of the blade length up until you get to the thumb stud. And it's excellent jimping. It's sharp and it catches your thumb, not tearing at you, but it keeps you locked in. That's nice. It's great. As for the whole handle, it's kind of thick. In fact, it's very thick. I'm pretty sure it's got a stainless steel block here too, on top of the 1/10 of an inch each liner locks made out of stainless steel in there, and one of them acts obviously as a liner lock for the knife blade itself, along with the auto locks feature, which you have to pull back like so. Don't know if you can see that, but you pull it back, then you undo the liner lock, push it aside, and then you can move the blade down freely. To open it, you just outburst it, and there you go. I want to just say something again about the handle design. It fits like a glove. It's absolutely amazing. The jimping is perfect. It honest to goodness, feels like this knife is not gonna get dropped by me, regardless of the condition. And on top of that, on the bottom of it, you can see quite a bit is exposed, in this triangular fashion, and I'm sure that was done for a reason. It's symmetrical, and I'm pretty sure it'd work as a hammer fist kind of ability. You can grab onto this knife and use it that way, and you can use the top of it. It's in a point, so you can actually use that. I have a background in some martial arts, and one of the strikes requires you to hold your hand something like this. I'm not actually showing you the right way, but this is perfect for it because it's a stabbing motion that you usually go into the stomach of your opponent, and it wins them or it hurts them pretty bad. It actually does a lot of damage, surprisingly. But anyways, that's a cool feature. That's a cool feature. And the auto locks, again, keeps it locked up. The jimping keeps it locked in your hand. The wicked, awesome, perfect fit of it just keeps it in your hand. G10 scales. Everything about it keeps it in your hand. It's pretty great. Something I want to mention is the adjustable pivot screw. You get that here, which is nice. I've never had to use it, but it's nice. You can also take out this auto locks feature by disassembling it. It's pretty easy to do. There's tutorials on CRKT if you need them. I gotta say something about the pocket clip. They did it right. It looks a lot like, it reminds me a lot of a Spyderco design, and I love Spyderco's pocket clips. They seem to do the job perfectly. It's low profile, clips right. The only problem is they didn't get rid of they didn't make a flat surface here, so this will tear up your pocket pretty fast. But again, it's a really good pocket clip. It's secure, that's not going anywhere, it's tight against there. Low profile, not anything flaring out anywhere. It's just good. Only problem is you can't switch it anywhere. You're stuck in tip down carry, and you're stuck like this. You can take it off, and then you can use it left-handed. Easier, I guess. But if you're right-handed, you're good to go. And if you're upset with the tip down, well, too bad. I like tip up, personally, so this isn't very good for me, but oh well. It's a good knife regardless. The ambidextrous thumb stud, though, it's awkward opening it left-handed because of the clip getting in the way, and the auto locks feature is right there, so you can catch it and it can mess things up a little bit. I'm not going to try it because it's hard to mess up, but it's also really easy to mess up by mistake. But other than that, I gotta say the only downside to this knife is the weight. It's 6.3 ounces because it's almost all metal, like the entire thing. Such thick steel lining, extra auto locks feature, like fully metal blade. It's actually quite a thick blade. I can't remember the exact dimension. I think it's 0.16 of an inch, if I'm right. Don't quote me on that, but whatever. And the whole liner lock thing being in total 0.2 inches is heavy. It's just adding so much weight, plus this metal block back here for the auto locks feature to work. It's crazy. The knife is heavy, so you have to keep that in mind. But if you're using it as a tactical folder, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. This thing will definitely deliver. I'm positive that the stabbing efficiency of it is great, the cutting, the tearing, especially with the BEF serrations, is great, and overall it's just a great knife. Questions, comments, leave them below, and hopefully it's good for you. Catch you later.